The Boston Terrier's physique speaks to its fighting dog history before the French Bulldog entered the gene pool. Over the years, the Bostonian has developed into an excellent family dog that promises protection as a loyal companion without developing a high potential for aggression. In the 18th century, the little terrier was still involved in Boston backyard dogfights. Officially, the tournaments had been banned since 1826. All too often, the spectators continued to rave and bet high stakes on muscular flat noses. The terrier made a name for itself in duels when resourceful farmers crossed English bulldogs with now defunct white English terriers. The breed was superior to all others and was known as the American Bull Terrier. More than half a century later, not only were the final fights banned, but the ban was actually enforced. Boston settled down. The powerhouses survived under the breed name Boston Terrier. The dog breed underwent moderate socialization until the Boston Terrier finally became a family dog, fond of children, cheerful, and playful. To blame for this peaceful development is, among other things, the French Bulldog, which was diligently crossed and left the Bostons its bulldog charm and still ensures a balanced temperament in the breed today. Breed characteristics of the Boston Terrier. The Boston Terrier owes its nickname ball-headed terrier to its characteristic head shape. In fact, this impression is given in particular by the short muzzle. Nevertheless, the so-called stop as the name for the curve at the transition from the forehead to the bridge of the nose is well developed. One of the most striking features of the snout is probably the large, open nostrils. In addition, the pulled-down lips give a dignified, settled impression. The Boston Terrier's eyes convey intelligence, interest, and a likable personality. They are rather dark in color, widely spaced and round to slightly almond-shaped. Between them appears a white pattern of different widths, which continues downwards and in the best case the muzzle, neck, encloses forechest and forelegs. Its ears are carried erect on the flat skull with a steeply sloping forehead. In America, specimens with cropped ears can often be found, but this is prohibited in Germany and many other European countries. A height at the withers or a stick size is not specified for the Boston Terrier. Nevertheless, his physique should appear square, so the back should not be too long. After the slightly sloping croup, which marks the transition from the back to the hind quarters, comes the very short tail. It can be carried straight or right, may also be erect, but should not protrude beyond the line of the back. The forelegs extend parallel and straight from the broadly built chest at a clear distance from each other. There is also no bend in the elbow area. The thorax is well developed, voluminous, and pulled low. On the hind legs, the Boston Terrier shows excellently muscled thighs and relatively small hind poles. Overall, the Boston Terrier appears very well proportioned and shows an impressively elegant appearance, which expresses strength and determination through the square physique. According to U.S. standards, the Boston Terrier is divided into 3 weight classes. His weight in the lower group must be less than 6.8 kilograms, in the middle between 6.8 and 9 kilograms, and in the upper 9 to a maximum of 11.3 kilograms. His hair is short, apart from the white markings, should be black, seal-colored seal, or, as is often the case with Great Dane-like dogs, brindle. Temperament. The American is a dog for many occasions because of its size, intelligence, and people-friendliness. It adapts just as effortlessly to a family structure with small children as to the everyday life of a couple or a single household. Apart from being kept in a kennel, He gets involved in almost any form of keeping, in the country or in the city. His home is where his owner lives. Walks in the woods will be equally relaxed, as the Bostonian has no hunting instincts and, if well socialized, will not cause any problems with other dogs. He is protective of what he loves, but is not a barker or an aggressive dog. The Boston Terrier is a lively dog that is always ready to play and a quick learner. He has a special affinity for children, who are enthusiastic about his joy of playing. However, the owner should not leave the children alone with the dog, because an animal is an animal and children are sometimes thoughtless. Situations escalate, and while this breed loves children, it is sometimes easy for actions on either side to be misunderstood. The Boston Terrier is a dog that wants to please, and on particularly dreary days, the cheerful American almost always manages to convince his loved ones that life is beautiful just the way it is. Health. In connection with the Boston Terrier, an unwelcome topic is touched on at this point: the torture breeding. Unfortunately, this breed is also at least partially affected. A variety of races are bred without regard to losses. One speaks of torturous breeding in dogs when the breeding goal concerns one or more external things that are obviously harmful to the dog's health. Examples are the hairless dogs, skin indentations, or dwarfism. In some breeding lines, the Boston Terrier shows external characteristics that mean considerable limitations for him. The shortening of the caudal spine, the so-called corkscrew tail, is even a desired breeding goal. Brachycephaly, the round head, can also be found in many Boston Terriers. A round skull shortens the nose and jawbones, which means the Bostonian is at risk of heat stroke and can suffer from breathing difficulties. The Boston Terrier must be kept in a cool place when it is hot, as it has major problems with thermoregulation due to its small nasal cavity and mucous membranes. Snoring is another indication of defects in the system. His protruding eyes are poorly protected and are therefore exposed to an increased risk of injury. The average life expectancy of the Boston Terrier is 12 to 15 years. Is the Boston Terrier right for me? Purchasing the lovable Boston Terrier is more than an affair of the heart. If the heart has already decided, the mind puts a warning triangle in front of the heart's gate. Future dog owners should ask themselves the following questions, among others. Are you ready to potentially sleep side by side with a snoring Bostonian? Don't you mind taking care of your four-legged friend in summer if he doesn't get enough air? Aren't you mad when people ask you in the woods if that's a list dog? Do you accept flatulence even if the smart guy is already on a special diet because he has a sensitive stomach? Is your wallet well stocked to potentially pay for additional vet bills? You get 365 days of everything you still lack and a little bit more. Can you promise the Boston Terrier a forever home? That is ultimately the all-important question. The Bostonian is not a tryout dog. You bring him to you and make him familiar to you. He always counts on you until the end. Let us know in the comments below so we can continue being proud of this breed walking among us. Thanks for watching the video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.